Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael from Making Lens Media. Today we'll be doing full retouching of this image right here from beginning to end. Alright, so let's zoom in a little bit. So first thing we are going to do to this image will be to duplicate it. So hit Ctrl J. So we have one of this image at the top, just so we can see everything we've been doing so far. So then we'll come to an empty layer here and create an empty layer, and we're going to come to a brush here. Now the three brush we'll be using for removing of blemishes will be the spot healing brush tool, the healing brush tool, and the patch tool. Basically that's what we'll be working with for this image right here. Alright, so first things first, let's go with our spot healing brush tool and let's rename this clean. Alright, yeah, so that's like the layer where we'll be cleaning up this image though. So let's be sure that sample all layers are being checked so that we can actually see that whatever is happening here is affecting the rest of the layers, right? Alright, so now let's go ahead and clean this image. Alright, so we are removing the blemishes, the pimples, and the rest of things that are quite distracting to this image, just so we are ready for frequency separation and dodge and burn, right? So basically what the spot healing brush tool does is you just click on the pimple or the blemish you're trying to remove, and then Photoshop will try to replace that place of the skin with a part that's close to it that it thinks it's perfect for it. So you just try to take your time with this process and see that you get the best result, or the desired result, so to speak. So you can see we've taken our time to remove a whole lot of distraction with this image right here, right? So basically let's keep at it. So we're going to increase our brush size a little bit and then try to see how we can balance some of these stray areas around the hairline, right? Right, it's not like we're taking away everything, but we're trying to see that those ones that seem distracting, we're trying to take it out of this image just so we are comfortable with what we're seeing, right? So this is where we are at. This is before and these are after, these are before and these are after. We get, so a lot has been done to this image. So what we are going to do right now is to merge these layers, right? So come here and right click and then we merge visible layer, right? So we have, all we have here is the background layer. So if we click this on, if we turn on the visibility of the upper layer, we'll see where we started from, and then when we turn it off, we'll see where we are at the moment. Let's just delete this layer right here. So we are left with just the background layer, right? And okay, so now we are left with just the background layer. So we are going to come here and let's just click our frequency separation action for a moment. So let's pick a radius that will best work for this image. Let's say Okay, let's do 8. So 8 is fine for this image, right? If you want to understand how to pick a radius for your frequency separation, you can watch my other video where I talk about that. So right now we'll be using our mixer brush. Okay, let's just be sure that check clean brush after every stroke is checked on, just so Photoshop doesn't keep loading the brush with colors right here as we're working with on our color layer. Right, let's change this to like say 50. Right, so let's do 5. All right, so let's turn this off a bit so we can work on the color layer. Right, we're trying to see how we can blend the colors of this image right here. So as we go, we will be checking we'll be checking out before and after. So this is before, this after, this before, this after. We're trying to see how we can blend in the colors just so that we are working correctly, right? So we'll be checking out before and after as far as we are going. Okay, so with our left and right bracket keys, we'll be changing our brush size as we are working, right? Try to take your time with this process, like I always say, so we get our desired result, right? So as we go, we'll be checking to see what we are doing, if we are doing right or we are going wrong, we'll know. So far it's decent. We're doing a great job with this. We're doing a great job with this, right? So we just keep at it. Okay, so this is how far we've gone with this image here. These are before and these are after here. These are before and these are after. These are before and these are after. You can tell that we've gone a long way with this image. We've done a lot to this image. So just in case, guys, you do this and some way somehow you think you have overdue or you've overdone this process, you just come to your opacity here and then you reduce it. See, if you take it all the way down, it's like you've done nothing to this image. And as you're taking it up gradually, you'll be seeing the changes here. So I would leave this at 100% because I think it's really fair. We've not really changed the model, yeah. So that's it for now. So we'll just rename this FS as if it's a frequency separation here. So this is a frequency separation group. This helps you, putting all of this in a group, it helps you to keep your work tidy, so we don't tend to look very funny and everything looking all scattered and stuff, right? So basically that's it. Okay, let's see, let me straighten this out a little bit. Yeah, so that's what's up. All right, so that's it. So basically, right now we are going to play out dodge and burn action here. All right, so as we know, black reveal and white hides. So with our opacity at 100, our flow at 1, a smooth at 10, we will be using this time it won't be a mixer brush tool. It won't be a mixer brush tool, but it's going to be our brush tool. So what we want to do is, like I said, we do in dodge and burn, we dodge the highlight and then we burn the contours here. And this is say our highlighted area, right? So we are going to highlight this, right? So we'll highlight here, right? So just keep going, and then we'll highlight here also. Let's highlight the lips so it looks eye-catchy, because I actually like the combination of the lip here. I almost say the makeup artist did a great job, but I actually did the makeup, so don't really mind it's poor job, but in the past it helps me. I don't have to struggle with trying to collaborate with a lot of people, even though I love to collaborate. Sometimes you want to collaborate and they're asking for you to pay. So far this is how far we've gone with this process. So what I further like to do is I like to hold Alt and click on the mask here. So a dialog box like this, everything I have actually dodged is displaying right here. So what I like to do is I come to filter, I come to blur, I come to Gaussian blur, and I tend to blur it up a little bit just so the edges are more faded away, so it doesn't look so sharp. Let's say 20, or let's say 15 does it, right? So I'll leave it at 15, right? Okay, so I'll hold Alt again and I'll click on it to reveal back my dodge. So these are before and these are after, these are before and these are after. That's how far we've gone. So let's come to the burn. We come to the burn and then we burn the shadows here. So these are before and these are after, these are before and these are after. Like I always like to do again, I'll hold Alt and click on the mask, right? I'll hold Alt and click on the mask and we'll still feather it out a little bit. So we'll come to blur, come to filter, blur and Gaussian blur, right? So this time we'll not be doing 15, let's say we'll do 5. And hit OK, and we hold Alt again and click on it to bring it back up, right? So we see these are before and these are after. I give this smooth and soft transition, right? So this is before dodge and burn, this after dodge and burn, before dodge and burn, and after dodge and burn. So let's further go down a little bit. So this was before frequency separation. This is our frequency separation, and then these are dodge and burn, right? So basically that's our frequency separation and our dodge and burn. So what I like to do here is, let's try to see how we can color grade this image a little bit. So now we come to our, say, let's do levels adjustment here. So when we come to our levels adjustment, we pull in our blacks a little bit, right? Pull in our blacks, and then pull in our whites. So let's say 12 is fine, so 11, okay, alright, not bad, 11 is fine. So we come to our color balance, and let's add a little bit of blue to this image, right? Let's add a little bit of blue to this image, and then also a tiny bit of cyan to do justice to this image. So this is where we are at right now. So let me further come to my color lookup table here. Come to my lot. I think I have a melanin lot here. So okay, this is not bad, but let's do another one. Say this is the first one we used, and let's do our, right? So okay, so I'll reduce the opacity of the first one to say 22, and then I'll reduce the second one to say 25. Right, okay, this is fine. I'll keep it at 30, and I'll further increase this one to 30 as well. Alright, so far this is what we have, and what I'll further do is let's hit a black and white adjustment layer. Let's hit our black and white adjustment layer, and then I'll hit Ctrl I to invert it, and then I'll zoom into the eyes a little bit. So if I zoom into the eyes, I can come and use my brush tool, and then I'll change this. So I'll float to say 30, right? So again, with our left and right bracket keys, no, don't need that. With our left and right bracket keys, we just increase or decrease our brush size. So we are painting this into the eyes, right? So it's kind of white, so the light spill or the color spill from the whole general image doesn't spill into whatever we are doing, right? So this is before and this is after, right? So let's double back a little bit. So also what we are going to do here, we hit another black and white adjustment, right? Now if we hit that, let's take the reds down a little bit to make it a little darker, and then let's take down the yellows a little bit too. Alright, so that's fine. So we come to our blend mode, and then let's do multiply. So when we have multiply, we reduce the opacity too. Right, so we'll do another black and white adjustment. This time we're going to leave the settings the way they are, and then we're going to change our blending option again to multiply, and then we are going to reduce this further to say so let's group this together. Okay, so let's put our brightness and contrast. Let's take our brightness up a little bit. Alright, so let's group this and then hit Ctrl G to group it, and then let's name this color gray. Right, so this is before and this after our color gray. So if we think this is too much, again, like I always do, we can reduce the opacity and then increase it for however we think is fine. I think from here is okay for me. I'm doing 82 at the moment, so that is it really. So basically what I typically do is I hit Ctrl Shift Alternate E to create a stamp visible layer, which I am going to take to filter, camera raw filter. Alright, so for the camera raw filter, we are going to push some sliders here to make it a little bit more crispy. Right, so let's take down our saturation a little bit. Let's see -12. Let's increase our vibrance. Let's further take our dehaze up a little bit and take our clarity slider. Let's take it to +4, and then let's take down the blacks. The shadows, let's take it up a little bit. Right, so basically this is where we're at, and what I like to do is I'll come to let's add a little vignette to this particular image. Yeah, so the background further darkens, right, and then we are really focused on the face of the model right here. Before and these are after. Before camera raw and these are after camera raw. So we can hit OK, right? So this is before and this after. What I like to do again, I like to Ctrl Shift E to create a stamp visible layer, and then but this time what I'm going to do is I'll hit Ctrl Shift U to desaturate it, then I'll right click and then convert to smart object, right, and I'll also come to filter, others, and high pass. Okay, so we're adding a radius of 2.0. That's okay, and I'm going to come to our blending option and use say soft light, so you can see how much detail we have. Right, let me zoom into this image a little bit so you can see, right, see how much detail we have. Right, it's crazy, it's amazing how much detail we have, right? So now, but then I still think this is too much, so we are going to reduce our opacity to like say 25 is fine. So we just add texture to the image, right? So this is how far we've gone. Okay, let's put all of this in a group. Ctrl G. Let's rename this edit. Let's capitalize it. What? Okay, so let's capitalize it, edit. Okay, so these are before and these are after. These are before and these are after. We can tell that we've done a great deal. So thanks so much for watching.